Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48th World, where we do recaps and reviews on soap operas, reality shows, shopping hauls, and just about everything I want to do a review on, pretty much. Today's episode, we're going to be looking at The Young and the Restless for May 10th, which is Tuesday, 2016. And we're going to go and get right into it. Okay, Billy mixes business with pleasure. Victoria takes a big, a big risk, and Jax takes matters into his own hands. So that's basically the summary for today's episode. Okay, the first scene goes into Phyllis and Jack. We're recapping off from yesterday's episode. Both of them are just still, Phyllis is just telling Jack they can kiss their shelf space at Dillman's department store goodbye. Both J.A.T.F.B.S as well as Newman, which is brash and sassy, which was Victoria's baby when she first came on with her father, doing business with him within his company. Because of course Billy had did what he always do, messes up. Somehow he upset Fiona, and Fiona feels like, hey, she's gonna do. She's been tied or brought into a war between the families. And she doesn't like it. So she said, forget both of them. I don't need to get coin off of them. I have other people that want the stock. Hold on. I have other buyers and affluent business people, like-minded, that would love to have their merchandise shown into Dillman's department store. So I think I'm just going to open up both of those market share spaces on my shelves and forget the J.A.T.F.B.S and Newman products for now, at least. So that's pretty much what she was trying to tell Jack, and Jack feels that she's just over exaggerating. She said, okay, we're going to check out the water, test the waters for yourself. So he's like not really brushing what she says off. He just don't really want to have time to deal with it right now. So we go to Billy and Fiona. Billy's getting to know Fiona on a more intimate level when Victoria arrives at the door. Little does she know he has company, but she's much earlier than anticipated for Billy's time to be with the kids. But she don't care. She bring them over anyway. She's talking and still moving the kids on like, they have a good relationship, this, that, and the other. And that's just so far from the truth. When she does turn around and make contact, she sees Fiona in a one of Billy's robes, and she thinks she's interrupting something very intimate. Okay, she goes off the handle. We know how Victoria do her thing. And we move on from that scene for now. We're at Dr. Neville, Dylan, and Ashley. They're at the laboratory with Dylan and Abby, Ben, and Max. Dr. Neville is telling Dylan that Ben is in there with Max, and Max told him, as well as Ashley, that he put something on the staircase to make Abby fall. In the story there. We go to Max and Abby and Ben. Abby's in there explaining to Max she wanted him to be known that he's still family. They still care for him. They want him to get the help that he so dearly needs. But he can't get away with destroying her baby. That's not going to happen. Both Ashley and Dr. Noah has said he got to be dealt with, but he needs to be dealt with in a more professional mental behavior capacity. He don't need to be just thrown in juvenile services and just fed through the system. He really needs to have help mentally. Okay, we leave there. We go to a commercial. We come back. We're on Max, Abby, and Ben. Max is telling Abby he just wanted to let her fall, but he didn't want to put her at arm's risk or in danger. Abby's getting louder with him, and of course he's going to the defense saying she don't want to help me, she wanted to just get me in trouble, this, that, and the other, and it's just getting heated back there. So Ben tells Abby that she needs to leave. He'll handle it from this point on. It's his son, so he needs to handle the little monster by himself since he didn't believe nobody from the get-go. Anyway, we move from there. We go back to Dr. Nelva and Dylan. Dr. Nelva is asking Dylan what's next with Max because he's kind of concerned. He kind of takes a closer interest to Max because Max somehow, in a sense, I believe, mirrors him when he was a kid. So he might have been a little terror running around now, evil demon seed, creating chaos in his family's life. But I don't know. I'm sure it's going to come out, though, because he made reference to it again a little later before the episode ended. So basically, Dylan tells him he don't really know. It goes to Child Protective Services. They do their little investigating, interviewing, and then, pretty much he goes into the system. But, he's going to fight for him in a sense to get mental help, but he still is going to have to pay for his crime, which is going to be in a little juvie school. And then knowing Max, he going to break out of there and come full throttle for, probably take care of his dad as well as Abby. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, after that situation, Abby comes out and she comes to Dylan and tell him, you need to go on and get Child Protective Services on the phone because right now Max is in there playing his violin, trying to get his daddy to go easy on him. He thinks he's going to escape being punished for what he had did. So she's trying to give Dylan heads up because she feels that Max is so charming. He's going to charm his way to where his dad is going to get in trouble and try to run away with him. And then they're going to be two fugitives on the run. At least that's the picture she's painting to Dylan, which I didn't get that. I think Ben is just tired. And then he's thinking about the baby girl that he lost through his son. So Ben ain't going nowhere. He's acting like a fool right now over his son. But he ain't that big of a fool, Abby. And, by you not really trusting him, after the fact that he does know that Max did contribute to y'all losing y'all baby, you need to back off because he might just X both of y'all out of his life. But anyway, we go back to Victoria. Oh, excuse me, Billy and Fiona. Victoria and Fiona both are fussing. Well, no, I'm sorry. Billy and Victoria are fussing about the children being there. When Billy seems like, he got Victoria's thinking he's having a sleepover with Fiona, but it has nothing to do with that. Victoria starts to threaten him about she's going to take the kids back home, this, that, and the other. He's not going to have his weekend with them. Then Billy starts saying he's going to call the police on her because she's violating a court order that says he gets his kids on this certain time of the week and this, that, whatever. Then Fiona be like, she's in the background talking about, okay, do y'all want me to take the kids to their playroom? Because I know where it is. Billy showed me. It's beautiful, da-da-da-da. But she goes on, just gently says, y'all want me to take the kids to the playroom while y'all hash things out? And of course, Victoria makes a big dig at her because she's like, you don't need to be saying nothing. You need to be in the back, fall all the way to the left, and when somebody asks you to come out your corner that we put you in, then you come out. Other than that, do not be speaking, okay? It's not about you. But anyway, she goes on to say, throws another jab to Victoria saying, oh, well, it seems like Billy's just getting on everybody's nerves because some woman came over here recently and slapped them. So she, to injury to insult, she had to get that last jab in. Then she's gonna go upstairs, put on her dress, whatnot, and then says goodbye to Billy. And Billy's, apologizing to her for her being in the midst of all this family dramatic drama. So she leaves. But she did tell Victoria he got slapped in the face by this other woman, which we do know the other woman being Phyllis. Okay, we leave from that situation. We go back. We have Jack and Phyllis. Phyllis is still furious. She's pacing the floor at the athletic club. And about seeing, Fiona at Billy's place. Even though, she's trying to make Jack feel otherwise, like she's their own business. Or she's basically there to try to put the family back together. Him get back with Victoria and this, that, and that. But she ain't telling Jack she got some kind of weird fantasy fondness of him, where she wants to take him to bed and see what's all was there and all this. I don't know what the dynamics or what she's thinking, because one way she's wanting Jack, she want to be his wife, she wants all this, attention from him. Then when she wants a furious, fast-paced lifestyle, exciting, not knowing what's going to happen to the next moment or whatever, she wants to go after Billy. I'm like, girl, divorce her, Jack. Please divorce her, because I don't like her anyway. The other Phyllis I could get with, but one of my Twitter buddies told me the Phyllis that we used to see that was tall as Jack and much prettier than this one they got trying to play her now. She's on General Hospital playing Nina. So I'll have to check that out soon and see what's up with that. But that's where my Phyllis went to, because this Phyllis ain't doing nothing for me. She almost act like Miss Chancellor, like so old, so dusted, and got to, move on. So I'm like, oh, please get rid of her. Do we have a death scene for her coming up soon? I hope so. Anyway, that is her whole thing. She's mad because Billy's messing around with two more cute women. He got Victoria. Don't know why she even messing in that garden over there, okay? Or that grass. Water your own grass. It'll be just as green and just as exciting, okay? Whew. Anyway, Jack goes into talking about some ethical breach, if that is in fact the case. If, Fiona had said that she wasn't going to do business with either one of them. Then it goes into Phyllis saying that Billy's acting like Victor's clone, like heartless, doesn't care about anybody but himself. This, that, and, just too much. Then we go to a commercial. Okay. And then we go back to where we're back at Phyllis and Jack. And Phyllis says she went to Billy to get back with Victoria. That was her plan of action. Of course, she's still pacing. She wanted to repair that damage. She also wanted to repair the damage that resulted in Jack listening to Victoria and firing Billy. She wanted to get that back in perspective. But no, and Jack, she just pacing. So Jack said, oh, okay, I see what it is. And I'm thinking, damn, Jack don't caught on that quick. But no, Jack's still in La La world, or in his own. He's in the abyss really bad. And he said, oh, I see now. You see what we've been seeing, that Billy is an addict. He's too far gone. He has to hit rock bottom again. So that's what's tearing you up. And that's what's giving you all this negative energy towards him that made you slap him. Okay, I see now. I see now. And then she hugging Jack like she's agreeing with him. Yeah, that's what's making her upset. She is such a liar. Oh, do we have a death scene for her? Because do we have a death scene? Then we go to Victoria and Fiona. Victoria says, Fiona, you're going to leave this house. She's giving her orders, y'all. That ain't even her house either. Okay? But in front of Billy, she's telling her, look, you're not going to stay with my kids. This is this is their father's time. It's not in the contract for him to be having no sleepover guests. I don't like you, so that's going to be something we're going to have to talk about if he's going to continue seeing you. No, that's just me saying that. But basically, she gives her the 411 and the 911. Like, okay, this is what's going to happen. You're going to leave now so that he can have his father-son time with his children and daughter time. And that's all I'm going to say for you. You need to get on out now. So she scurries herself on, get herself together, and she moves, goes on out the house. And then she addresses Billy about what they need to do, or what he needs to do, where the bottles are for the baby girl, and this, that, and that. And he wants to talk kind to her now. First, he was talking all big, bad, woofy-like type talk. Now he wants to be all formal and together. She's like, I ain't got time for this shit you talking about. You didn't talk that mess while she was him, so get the fuck away from me. So she pretty much just tells him what she wants him to know about the kids' instructions, and she bounced on out of there. I'm like, go ahead, Victoria. Then we go to Victoria. No, I'm sorry. We go to Dr. Nelva and Ashley Abbott, Abby, and then Dylan. Dylan says he trusts Ben because we just following back up on when Abby had came out and told Dylan he need to go and call CPS. He need to get them help because Ben, his son gonna bounce. He's like, no, I trust Ben to do the right thing and turn him into me. Abby is going over moments, she's remembering in her head about the time, she was trying to tell everybody about you know, her unborn child and the feelings she's already had secured for the baby. And, you know, she's just trying to make them understand that Ben is pretty much doing the same thing. You know, her loss was his loss too, but she carried the baby. So it was an extra loss for her. But now Ben, he's getting ripped twice. You know, the son that he always wanted, and then the little girl that his son killed, and he knew what he was doing. And on a certain level, he probably didn't know what he was doing or how it would affect the grown people, and especially the mother when that happened. And she survived, and the baby didn't. He didn't understand those dynamics because he's not a parent. But, you know, he just knew he wanted Abby out the way. He wanted the baby out the way, and that's what he got, pretty much. Because he has drawn a wedge between both him and between both him, his father, and Abby. So it's just chaos. But then we go from there. We go to Ben and Max. Ben is confirming that Abby was right. This is what he's basically telling Max, that they're all alone. He's also saying they need to get Max or get him some help. Abby was right in that as well. And you know, he's reassuring Ben that he loves him. That's never gonna change. Don't even insinuate or think other than that. He's there for him. But right now he needs to know the truth and the unexputable truth. So he can have it just for him and his knowledge. He wants to hear his son tell him the truth, blow by blow, play by play, and so they can just be an end to it when it comes to both of them. We go to a commercial, we come back, we're still on Ben and Max. Max is giving his dad the 411 or his take on the incident. He's saying he lost his mom, he was feeling some kind of way about that, and he wasn't going to lose his dad. So he felt that, yes, he was trying to get rid of Abby and the baby. He devised this little scheme of hosting her a baby shower. And then he got everybody there. But prior to that, he wanted to set up something special for Abby. He knew it would cause her the trip. But I think in a sense he was maybe trying to just get rid of the baby. And then he was going to probably have something else planned for Abby along down the road. But if he could have got rid of him in both shakes, it was cool with him. Of course, his daddy couldn't stomach it, but he had to because, you know, he asked for his son to tell him the truth. But we leave from there. We go to Billy and his son. Billy starts to tell his child a bedtime story. It's about this king that was all alone and whatnot until his prince came to visit him. And it was this dragon or some crazy story came, you know, blowing fire and wanted to do damage and wanted to kill him. And then the prince came and saved him. They both pretty much fought the dragon off, killed the dragon. And then the prince and the king lived in the castle by themselves. And they were happily ever after. So one man told me, okay, what the hell is Billy talking about? I know he ain't gonna fight Victoria just because she made that little thing about, you know, she was taking her children. She come and go and please with them however she sees fit. Anyway, and then the little boy had said, so what happened to the mother? Where's the mommy? He said, oh, she down, you know, the hill from them, living all nice and fine, but she didn't want to live with the castle, so it was just the king and the prince. So he was fine with that. But I'm like, man, he's okay because of that story. He want to be with you, and he knows he had to spend equal amount of time with you as well as his mother. But you try to keep him all the time, and you see where he want to be. He gonna be crying for his mother. So don't even try that, Billy. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah, Jack is right. You done spun totally out of control. But anyway, we go to Victoria and Travis after the debacleness that happened at Billy's house with Victoria seeing him, you know, entangled with Fiona, and she's wearing a bathrobe, and she got all these different issues or concerns or stories going through her mind of what could have happened. You know, instead of just asking Billy right on now, I think he would have told her. He's just that type of guy these days. He don't give a shit who he hurt, whether it's physical or mental. He don't give a shit. But anyway, she goes to her bar called Hank's, and she wants to see her friend again because she don't see him when she comes in. She sees another bartender. But then as she, you know, pulls herself up to the stool and gets to the bar comfortably, she asks the bartender, where's Travis? And as she ends his name, he comes walking out, you know, out to the counter where she is. And he's telling the bartender that was there serving drinks prior to him coming out, to give her either white wine or tequila, depending on her mood, but you should be able to tell that. And the investigator has also have come in. He's sitting out in the back end. The investigator that Lucas called himself hiring to get dirt on Victoria. So he's pretty much there waiting for something to transpire other than, idle conversation between the two. So, of course, she's quite smitten with him. So she's just feeding into all of his antics and whatever. She's just mesmerized with him at this moment. We go back from that scene. We go to Fiona and Jack. Jack tells Fiona that he doesn't care about what her and Billy are doing because basically Fiona has left. She's come to the athletic club. It seems like everything happened at the athletic club other than business and eating. But anyway, she comes and she sees both Phyllis and Jack getting ready to try to order some dinner so they can go home. She comes and interrupts them, abruptly, trying to drop off some little tea here and there. And Jack's like, I don't want to hear it. Whatever's transpired between you and my brother, that's between you and him. I'm sure you and I will still have our mutual business agreement, but I don't do that business and taking it to the sheets type of deal. So Fiona tells Jack, as of now, both you, meaning Jabot, and your brother Billy, which is he bought the company from Newman and he's supposed to be running it himself, no longer have shelf space in Dillman's department store. He like, no, you can't do that, honey. We have a contractual agreement. And, Jack went on. He don't know nothing about no law or anything. He should leave that to his legal team. But anyway, she goes and said, we can do what we want to do. And this drama that you're trying to bring in is not good for business on any parts of the parties. Definitely not Dillman's. And I could care less what happens between the Newmans and the Abbots because y'all been at war for a very long time. It's not a secret. Everybody knows in the community, if not globally. But anyway, just to put you on point range, I'm not giving neither one of y'all any shelf space to sell y'all merchandise in my store. So she pretty much bounces off. I don't know where she goes because she goes somewhere. She ain't gone totally, but she goes away from Jack. And of course, Jack is hightailing mad. He like, fuck this having dinner. I done lost my freaking appetite. I'm finna go see Billy because I don't know why Billy has let his penis get in the way of doing business. I done told him to keep personal stuff out of business avenues, but he just keeps doing stuff and he's not going to take me down with him financially or personally. So he just pretty much say goodbye to his wife because he has to go and straighten out some things with Billy. So we go to a commercial. We come back. We got Dylan and we got Dr. Neville. Dr. Neville followed Dylan outside. He didn't know what he was basically doing. He just thought he was pacing, trying to figure out what he was going to do in a messy situation. But Dylan was making some, I don't know if it was personal calls or business calls, and Dr. Neville didn't know either. But he went out to talk with him, telling Dylan to get the boy some help. He definitely needs help. Not the kind of help where he's want to be friends to Ben and try to skip some of the finalities, but that boy needs to be in the system and he needs to have mental help. He's got to pay for this situation. I think he was even saying it just for Ashley's and Abby's loss and what they had went through, because he understands both sides, because he was there when all of it was transpiring and coming, apart. So he was, I feel he went to bats for them 99% of the time, and the other percent was maybe because he saw himself, or he himself had went through this at an early stage, such as Max. That's why he had grown such a fondness to him. But he knew trouble was, in the loom for him in the near future, but he didn't know it was going to come that fast. So Dylan, because at first Dylan thought he was going to get on him about, not doing his job right and this, that, and that. But, he finally come to realize what Dr. Neville was saying without really actually saying it. It's almost like he was putting the pieces together. And then once he got them correctly, Dr. Neville just gave him a nod like, yeah, you understand what I'm saying. We're on the same page. Okay, deuces. But he also made reference to a patient he knew was in a similar circumstance as Max is, but it was back in Ohio from where he's from. So, I think they just gave us that tidbit because they finna do something with him. But I'm not really sure, but, that's just my feel of things. But then Dylan, gets himself together. He comes in back from the outside, and he goes in to pretty much get Max. And of course, there's a struggle there. Max is clowning, saying, I thought you were coming with me, Daddy. Why can't my daddy come? And being asking the same stupid ass question. He know why he can't come. The boy got to be investigated. He got to be, talked to. And, they're going to be trying to put him in them little cute orange jumpsuits or whatever they do for the little juveniles that done committed felonies and whatnot. Because technically he pre-planned to murder somebody. He got one, not the other, but it's still the same. It doesn't hold the same penalty of life in prison or the death penalty. I don't believe so anyway. But because they can really think they can help children, and they can remake them, or reprogram them into becoming productive people in society, because they give them help, mental stableness, help through medication or talk therapy. But they think they can be rehabilitated to being a successful member of society, instead of being ruthless and cold and still commit several acts after the fact of having treatment. So yes, he went to come get him, and that Max just went all crazy on him and stuff. I was like, oh, he need to be sedated, whatnot. Why did we didn't do that? But anyway, Max felt betrayed, Ben felt betrayed. It just ends like that. So we go back to Victoria at her little bar, but she's known as Tori at the as Travis know her. I don't know when that life's gonna come to pass, but anyway, he knows her as Tori. So Victoria's enjoying talking with Travis. That's normal. She goes on and be playful and engaging with him, and she's talking about loyalty and all of this, and he's saying, yeah, you think I'm not loyal to this little place just because I told you. Basically, if you're not happy with the job or the environment that you're in, then you need to move your own self out of it and get to where you are happy and you enjoy the work that you're doing. Now, that's a solid man, and he has a solid observation. Yeah, because sometimes it doesn't, just as long as you can take care of yourself, it really doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter that you have a whole lot of college education behind you, and you once made 6 or 7 figures, and now you're making, the basic means to supply a living for yourself and to take care of your bills, and maybe go and have trips maybe 2 or 3 times out the year, or maybe once a year. But it's just getting to a place in your life where you're happy all the time, in your personal life as well as your business life. And you just need to look forward to doing that and helping others, serving your community in some facet, or helping others, whether it's financially or just you're there for them, and helping them do better by themselves. So that's basically what he was trying to tell her. And of course she was impressed, and then she was really more so impressed when he said, you think this is just a rundown bar, this, that, and that, and I'm just working here and I'm just going from town to town. But let me tell you something, little Philly, I own this little rinky-dink bar that you call it. And I'm glad because I meet a lot of interesting people, and I'm glad I did purchased this spot last year, and it's doing what it needs to do. It's paying the rent and other things, and whatever. And I never would have met you. So he kind of nice and asked to do it up for her, and then he asked her to pretty much come with him, and she's thinking he's taking her to a back room where they can make out and probably have sex or whatnot. But he's like, not that far yet. But he said, no, I just wanted to dance with you. So she got to dance with him. He put a little cute diddly on the jukebox and everything. And basically they were just dancing. So we'll leave y'all there. We'll go back to Phyllis and Fiona. And Fiona's telling Phyllis she knows Phyllis is jealous. This was after the fact that Jack left, and she came back after Jack left to have a little private one-on-one conversation with Phyllis. But she sold Phyllis up from head to toe. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she knew exactly what she wanted to say to Phyllis. She said, you're jealous. You wish you were the woman that he was taking to bed. That's all that is. And Phyllis looked like she wanted to just pop her eyes out. And she even told us as so much, you look like you want to hit me or assault me in a way. But I'm not going to go there. I know how to back off. I just let you know I wasn't stupid. If I'm not that stupid, what do you think other people you might draw attention to yourself, so you need to check yourself. So we go to Billy and Jack. Jack goes over to Billy's house. He finally make it. They're both arguing. And Jack goes in to say, I know why Phyllis slapped you. This, that, and the other. And Jack don't know nothing. He's in the abyss. We go to commercial. We're back on them two nuts, Billy and Jack. Jack said, Phyllis came over here to make peace with you about the family business and family. And you just blew up at her. And this, that, and that. She said she had to slap you to get you under control. And then Billy looking at him like, you just a dumb fuck. You just a dumb fuck. Ugh. Anyway. Jack goes in to tell him that Fiona is pretty much done cut ties with Jabot as well as Newman. She ain't got no shelf space for nobody. Then Billy goes in and say, nah, honey, me and her got our own little private little thing going on. I got shelf space. You might not have shelf space, but I got shelf space. He said, no, nut. I just got finished talking with her, X amount of minutes ago. Did you got finished talking with her about that time? And, he kind of looked like, well, whatever. I don't care. Business is business. He said, no, you're messing up friendships. You're messing up everything that really matters to anybody and everybody. So, what are you talking about, Billy? So, it goes on to that scenario. We go back. We're at Travis and Victoria. Travis is asking Victoria, well, he's not really asking her because I kind of took you a little further. He's actually, dancing with her. Like I had left off with you all, and then he starts kissing her, and she starts kissing him back. And then, like I told you, Lucas investigator, he's getting all of this on tape. He's getting the dancing scene, he's getting the touching scene, and he definitely got the kissing scene. So whatever Lucas wanted on her, he sure got it now. That he's definitely gonna try to use against her. But anyway, after they pretty much did their little whining and dying and and getting close and stuff, we leave that scene. We go to Ben, Dylan, and Max. Oh, okay, and I pretty much went through that too. With Dylan going in there to get Max about CPS needing to talk to him, and he pretty much screamed and hollered when Dylan was trying to take him out to protect the services on the outside. So yeah, we got all that covered. We go to commercial again. We come back. We got Fiona and Phyllis. Phyllis tries to play very coy, as she don't have a clue of what Fiona just dropped at her doorstep, in a sense. But Fiona ain't no fool. She knows she had hit a home run on that play. And, pretty much Phyllis just looks at her very angrily. And then we go back to Jack and Billy. Billy is getting on Jack about not playing the victim anymore, or him being seen as this so-called addict, whatever. He said, nah, I'm just going to start getting what I want, when I want it, and who I want. So I was like, God damn. I said, okay. Now I saw Victoria in there about he talking about he wanted to get his kid, or that little story he was telling his child about him and the prince living happily ever after, and mama down the road somewhere. And then I understand the fact when he said he's gonna get his girl. And Jack looked at him like he's crazy. I said, Jack, if you only knew, if you came out there just a little bit, you'll know he talking about Phyllis. But we move on from that situation. We go to Travis and Victoria. Victoria's in her little spell of a dance with this man, Travis. He's definitely got her captivated. And, honey, he motions her to go back to that back room. Okay, the one room she was scared of before. And she's like, oh, boy, wait a minute. No. She break her trance real quick. She comes to life back again. And she said, no, I'm not ready for that. And she quickly, leaves him alone. She tells him no, she's not going to the back room with him. And she gets her purse from the bar, and she hurries on out on the outside. Once she gets on the outside, she kind of like get out of her daze that she found herself in when she was letting herself go and throwing all her inhibitions up in the air and stuff. And she was just letting loose. She came back to reality real quick and came off that aphrodisiac high she was on, I would like to say. And she started getting her bearings back and started coming back to reality that, hey, that's just inappropriate what she did. And I'm like, yeah, but it's on camera now, Victoria. You don't know no better, but yeah, it's on camera. It's going to be used against you sooner or later, more sooner than later. Then we go to Dylan. Dylan goes back, comes back in to tell Ben that Mac is on his way to the facility to get, I guess, properly worked into the system and to get interviewed by the authorities as well as Child Protective Services. Dylan goes in to try to console him. He pushes Dylan away very angrily, like, you could have let me did this, as far as going with him, riding with him, but that's against protocol. Now, he could have rolled behind him or something, but he didn't even do that. So it is what it is. So Dylan just go on and leave the room to give him his space. Then Abby tries to go up and secure him and console him. He breaks away from her little hole. He don't push her or anything like he did Dylan. But it's pretty much like a cold shoulder type resolution he gave to her. Because he feels that he betrayed her in a sense because he didn't believe her. He wanted to believe in his son, and he already had lost one child, which they were going to have. So the only thing he had was Max. So he's thinking about really 3 losses. The relationship that he's definitely going to have to try to repair with with Abby, but it's a loss right now. Then a loss, 4 losses. His ex-wife, and Max, and then his baby. So that's a lot to be putting on him. But he really should not be pushing Abby away because, like I said, they both lost a baby. And Max was the cause of it. So I don't know what would have made them, really jail with each other, with the fact that she would always bring out her mouth, Max. And then, Max is his boy. So it's just a strange situation to be in. So he basically tells her he needs some air. He needs to be by himself for a while, but he'll get back in touch with her. And then, okay, then it goes off, and they start showing you not replays, but new episodes that's coming up, or new scenes coming up for tomorrow's episode. So it's going to be hot, guys. So make sure you tune in to Deb Chanel's 48's World, where you get all your recaps and reviews on soap operas, especially this one, Young and the Restless, as well as Bold and the Beautiful. So that was today's episode of Young and the Restless that aired Eastern Standard Time at 3 p.m. And it was on Tuesday, May 10th, 2016. Okay, God willing, I'll see you tomorrow and give you updates. Take care. Bye-bye.